Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. I'm your anchor, Name, and this is your evening news recap. Tonight, we bring you the latest updates from the Middle East crisis. A fragile ceasefire between the US and Iran has been put to the test with reports of ships being attacked in the Strait of Hormuz. We'll take a closer look at the developments that are unfolding amidst uncertainty over talks and the implications on global energy markets. Our top stories tonight include the Trump administration's decision, the US-Iran diplomatic stalemate, and more. We're coming to you live with breaking news from the Middle East, where tensions are escalating in Iran and the region remains on high alert. Good evening, and welcome to our live updates on the latest developments in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's military has carried out enforcement actions against two vessels near the contested waterway, according to state media. The incident comes as tensions between the US and Iran remain high. The two vessels, identified as a British tanker and a Norwegian oil platform, were targeted by Iranian forces on Sunday. The attacks are believed to have been aimed at preventing the ships from passing through the Strait of Hormuz. No casualties have been reported in connection with the incident. President Trump extended a ceasefire agreement between the US and Iran earlier this week, but Tehran has declined to join peace talks. The US claims that the Iranian government is not taking steps to de-escalate tensions in the region. This latest development has raised concerns among global leaders and oil industry experts. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most critical shipping lanes in the world, with millions of barrels of crude oil passing through it every day. The incident highlights the risks faced by ships navigating the area. The U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet, which is responsible for securing the region, has issued a statement assuring its allies that it will take necessary measures to protect maritime traffic. The UK and Norway have condemned the attacks on their vessels, calling them reckless and unacceptable. Diplomatic efforts are ongoing to resolve the crisis, but so far, no agreement has been reached. We will continue to bring you updates as more information becomes available. As tensions escalate in the Middle East, a new development has emerged in the Strait of Hormuz, where reports suggest ships have come under attack. Reports are emerging of ship attacks in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway connecting the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Sea. According to maritime intelligence company Vanguard, a third vessel has been attacked by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC) forces. The incident occurred approximately 6 nautical miles off the coast of Iran, where the ship was hailed by IRGC officials and instructed to drop anchor due to damage to the hull and accommodation. The attack follows earlier reports of 2 ships being fired at near the strait. A container ship was reportedly targeted by an IRGC gunboat off the coast of Oman, while a cargo vessel came under attack near Iran shortly after. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC) has seized 2 ships in the Strait of Hormuz, according to Tasnim news agency. The vessels, MSC Francesca and Epaminondas, were reportedly operating without required authorization and had been manipulating navigation systems. IRGC officials have stated that disrupting order and safety in the strait is our red line. These incidents raise concerns about maritime security and the ongoing tensions between Iran and the international community. The United States' decision to extend a ceasefire with Iran has not seemed to alleviate these tensions, as reports of Iranian aggression continue to emerge. The attacks have also sparked diplomatic fallout, with some European nations expressing their concern over the escalating situation in the region. The incident highlights the complexities surrounding global security and the need for coordinated international efforts to address maritime threats. As tensions in the Middle East continue to escalate, a crucial development has been announced by U.S. President Donald Trump regarding his stance on Iran. President Trump has announced an indefinite extension of the ceasefire with Iran, following a last-minute deal brokered by Pakistan. The agreement was made public on social media by Trump, where he stated that the U.S. would avoid military action against Iran until such time as their leaders and representatives can come up with a unified proposal. The news comes as tensions between the two nations remain high, with reports of an intercepted ship carrying a mysterious cargo from China to Tehran. The nature of the cargo has not been confirmed, but it is believed to be a gift from Chinese officials. Pakistan's role in mediating the deal is seen as a significant factor in the sudden extension of the ceasefire. According to sources, Pakistan had requested Trump's attention on the issue, following concerns that the U.S. would resume bombing Iran if no deal was reached. The development marks a significant shift in the region's dynamics. with implications for global security and the balance of power in the Middle East. The U.S.-Iran conflict has been ongoing since 2019, with both sides engaging in a series of proxy wars and missile strikes. The extension of the ceasefire is seen as a temporary reprieve, but its long-term implications remain uncertain. Analysts say that the deal may provide a window for negotiations between the two nations, but it also underscores the complexities and challenges involved in finding a lasting resolution to the conflict. Following a surprise escalation in tensions between the U.S. and Iran, diplomatic efforts have stalled as the president weighs in on a separate issue. Good evening. I'm your name, and this is your news recap. U.S. President Donald Trump has indefinitely extended a ceasefire with Iran, a move that comes as talks between the two nations remain on hold. The decision marks a reversal of Trump's earlier threats to resume fighting in the region, despite concerns from U.S. lawmakers that Washington was walking away from its commitments. The Strait of Hormuz remains largely closed, with Iranian naval forces patrolling the area. The closure has had significant economic implications for countries reliant on the waterway and has raised tensions between Iran and the West. In a separate development, Trump commented that China may be providing weapons or other potentially lethal war supplies to Iran, raising concerns about Beijing's involvement in the conflict. Trump's comments came during a press conference where he expressed his concerns over potential Chinese aid to Tehran. The U.S. has long been wary of Chinese involvement in the Middle East, and this latest development may test Washington's red line on aiding its regional adversaries. The implications of China's alleged role in supplying Iran with military equipment are significant, particularly given the country's growing strategic influence in the region. It remains unclear what specific support China is providing to Iran, but U.S. officials have warned that any assistance would be seen as a direct threat to U.S. interests. As tensions between Washington and Beijing continue to escalate, the situation in the Middle East remains highly volatile. As the conflict in Ukraine escalates and Iran's involvement deepens, a troubling trend emerges: the unfulfilled promise of U.S. energy dominance. The U.S.'s energy independence rhetoric rings hollow as the country remains heavily reliant on imported crude oil. Despite producing a record 13.6 million barrels per day in 2025, the U.S. still imports an average of 6.2 million barrels per day and exports only 4 million, resulting in a net import of 2.2 million barrels per day. The majority of this imported oil comes from countries in the Persian Gulf, including Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates. The global price shock triggered by U.S. military actions against Iran has pushed American petrol above $4 a gallon, further crippling the economy. However, Europe and Asia have been hit far harder due to their increased reliance on Middle Eastern oil supplies. This is not just an economic issue. It also poses significant strategic risks for the region. The reason behind this energy dependence lies in the chemistry of U.S. crude oil production versus refinery capabilities. American shale output produces overwhelmingly light and sweet crude, which is ideal for petrol but yields too much petrol and too little of high-value products like diesel and jet fuel. This mismatch between supply and demand has left U.S. refineries struggling to process imported sour barrels from the Persian Gulf. The net result is a reduced refining capacity, lower throughput, and higher operating costs. The Persian Gulf's unique blend of crude oil is essential for blending with American shale crude, making it crucial for maintaining refinery margins and exports. This highlights the need for Europe and Asia to pursue true energy independence by investing in domestic production and reducing their reliance on imported Middle Eastern oil supplies. That's all for today's news recap. We'll continue to bring you updates on the ongoing Middle East crisis and Iran war as more information becomes available. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to stay up to date on the latest developments, be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media. We'll keep you informed with breaking news and analysis from around the world.